Is the upcoming exclusive zombie survival game from Undead Labs, State of Decay 2, about to receive a price drop? Well, the UK retailers think so, and I wonder what this could mean for the game. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And a lot of people heard this news today. You can see I am on Windows Central. They put out an article about how the Xbox One pricing for State of Decay 2 dropped to £24.99 on Amazon in game, and you can see this right here on Amazon. It's still that price, and as well on game, still £24.99, right? A lot of people had questions. Mostly the first response to this is it's got to be a price error. And you know what? Maybe it is. But something tells me that it is not. And we're about to see this price reflected in the US, whether it's on Amazon, Best Buy, GameStop, what have you. When all these multiple UK-based retailers change the price at the same time for an upcoming game, it sounds to me like they got a update from Microsoft, a memo or an email saying the MSRP has changed on the game and it's now this price. Now, the conversation turns to why is suddenly State of Decay 2, a game which is scheduled to come out, well, anytime now, right? Because Microsoft at E3 unveiled the trailer, said spring 2018. Spring 2018, last I looked, is between March 20th and June 20th. And we know Sea of Thieves is in March, so that only leaves April or May or June for State of Decay 2. Of course, in my prediction video, I said it would come out in May, and I still kind of hold to that. So why is the price dropping so close to the release date? Is there something happening to the game? Is it no longer at that AAA level? I mean, there are a lot of factors to think about here. First factor, or at least first thing, is this is all just a big, giant mistake, right? The price will go back up tomorrow to the regular price, and everybody will just completely forget about this. But like I said, I think this is true. I think it's going to be updated, whether it's tomorrow or Tuesday in the US, and this game will be 35, because that's the conversion rate. 24 pounds is about 35 American, so maybe $40. And once that price changes, even today, you have people worried about State of Decay 2 and what the pricing change means. Now, the first game, State of Decay 1, was an XBLA game, an Xbox Live Arcade game that was sold for $19.99, and people loved it. It sold millions of copies. 3 million, 4 million, I think was the number I last heard. And people were really excited that Microsoft was giving a bigger budget to State of Decay 2 so they could have a bigger world. And they have that. They have 3 huge maps that are basically, one map is the size of the entirety of State of Decay 1. Plus, it adds 4-player co-op. So there's a lot of improvements added to the game. So people who are fans of the first, which there are quite a lot of my friends really love the first game and can't wait for the second. Personally, I didn't play the first game, so I don't really have anything to say about it. But they were excited to go back into this world with better graphics, better textures, you know, better animations, better frame rate, and be able to play with their friends. And they were happy that Microsoft was giving this game the AAA treatment, because a lot of this and a lot of people's worries are based around how much the game is being sold for, right? When you see a game's price and it's $60, a lot of people expect at $60 for it to be a AAA experience. And that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. To some people, a AAA experience means high quality graphics, you know, great cinematics, a great story, great multiplayer, all in this package for $60. And the further away you get from 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, and 10, people expect less from their games. There's a reason why a lot of people talk negatively about indie titles. Indie titles usually come out anywhere between $5 and $30. And people don't expect a lot from some of those games because they feel if there was a lot to be in the game, they would price it appropriately at $60. So there's this kind of, I'm not going to say misconception, but a standard, whereas if it's a AAA game, you sell for $60. If it's anything less than $60, it is not AAA. So of course, Microsoft has said this game, they invested into it a lot. It is AAA, but the pricing wouldn't reflect the reality in this situation. So what is going on? Maybe they realized that it is better to sell this game at $30 or $40 than at $60. Maybe they felt that there wasn't enough content for it to be able to sell at the higher price point. Maybe they felt the higher price point locked them out of a certain market they were trying to achieve. I don't know. But it is weird. And I haven't really seen an example of a game that's supposed to launch in a couple months get a price drop this drastically, because you're talking $20 to potentially half. That is pretty strange when you think about it, and it does raise a bit concerns for the people that were looking forward to it. Of course, other people will say, this isn't a big deal. I'm happy whatever the price is for this game because I really enjoyed the first. I don't care if it's $30, $40, $50, or $60. I just want to get the game. It doesn't matter to me what price the game is because I expect quality because I played the first Undead Lab games. You know me. I do the Ranzini Spotlight here on the channel. I play a lot of indie games, and a lot of them are, priced between $5 to $30. And I'm willing to give any game a shot. I've played a lot of great indie games that are some of my favorites that were $20, like What Remains of Edith Finch, or Inside, or Celeste. Those games rival a lot of the AAA games for me at almost less than half the cost. So to me, the pricing doesn't really matter. I'm going to go into State of Decay 2 with the same expectations I would if it was $60, $40, $30, or $10. I go into the game with those kind of glasses on. But of course, when I try to recommend something, it's like, well, this game does something really good here, and it's only $10, yes, or this game's not really good enough for $50, so hold off on a sale. Now, the other factor about all this is, does it really matter what price Microsoft sells their exclusives at retail and digital anymore, considering they have Xbox Game Pass? That's kind of the other big equation into all this, right? We all know Xbox exclusives, starting with Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, Crackdown, all the future Halos, all the future Gears, all the future Forzas will be in Game Pass day and date with their retail counterpart, and you only have to pay $10 a month. So to a lot of people, State of Decay 2 is only going to cost them $10, whether they sub for a single month and beat it that month and then unsub. So a lot of people are going to be looking at this game and being like, it doesn't matter if it was 60, it doesn't matter if it's 40, and it doesn't matter if it's 30, because I'm going to play the game for $10. So I don't care what the price is. Of course, that raises other questions like, does Xbox Game Pass itself devalue Microsoft's own games? When you have a bunch of people out there saying it doesn't really matter what the price of Sea of Thieves is or State of Decay 2 or Crackdown, to me it's only $10. Is that an issue in the grand scheme of things? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it is to a vocal minority on Twitter that likes to downplay a lot of Microsoft's games and a lot of what Microsoft is trying to accomplish. Maybe to the larger gaming audience on Xbox Live and elsewhere who aren't on YouTube, who aren't on Twitter, they just don't care. They're just happy to play a game at whatever price point. And yes, more people are probably willing to buy State of Decay 2 for $30 or $40 than would be willing to buy it for $60. The good old supply and demand. You sell something for a higher price, they're going to sell less of it. You sell, as the price goes down, blah, 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 blah. If you know economics, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Of course, this won't stop the concern that people have about State of Decay 2 if the price drop is real. Because to them, they equate $60 as a premium experience, and if the price is half that, then they expect that the game isn't good. Because why else would Microsoft change the pricing of the game so close to release? They would immediately think that something is wrong with State of Decay 2. And would they be wrong for thinking that? Would they be wrong? Because we don't know much about State of Decay 2 at all, period. It is a mystery title. Yeah, you can say look to the first game and you know exactly what to expect. But they've been virtually silent since E3 last year. Yes, we know that the game is huge and it has 4-player co-op. Yes, we know that there are no plans. They're not going to sell any loot boxes or microtransactions. All they'll be selling is paid DLC. Those things we know, but we haven't really actually seen a gameplay trailer for it. They cobbled one together at last E3, but this is a game that is supposed to come out sometime in the next 4 months, and we've heard literally nothing about it. So for the first thing you hear in 2018 for a game that you're anticipating is that maybe it's half price of what it is, and you have heard nothing else about it, people are understandably going to question what is going on with the game itself, and then what is going on with Microsoft. But at the end of the day, my take on all this thing is that I think this is true. I think you'll see it being reflected in the US retailers tomorrow. I'm not sure if it would be $30 or $40, whatever the conversion rate is, but that's going to be the price for State of Decay 2, and maybe that is what they feel is a good value for what they're going to offer to people. Maybe it's just not worth $60. I don't know. And I guess we'll find out pretty soon. But anyways, guys, that is the video. We'll find out soon if this is true or not. And if you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Share this out on social media, as it would greatly help out the channel. And I'll see everybody tomorrow for a brand new video. Later, guys, and thank you.